Barca beat Atletico Madrid 3-1. I mean, to be honest, it was an important game because, Real Madrid play Atletico Bilbao tomorrow and they play them away. So that means that there's a good chance that Real
Yeah.
Madrid can lose points. And then also Real Madrid tied up, so Barca in first place. And another thing too is for good morale, right? Barca come from that hammering against Chelsea 3-0. So beating Atletico Madrid 3-1 at home, I think it's a good win.
Yeah, I agree, dude. Especially because, like you said, dude, given the fact that you know Real Madrid had dropped points during the weekend,
Yeah.
Barcelona moved up to first place. I think it was important for Barcelona to actually win this game because they were going to be able to keep that that lead. Now tomorrow, like you said, right? Madrid plays against Atletico Bilbao at San Mamés. San Mamés is not really an easy stadium right now.
Yeah.
Atletico Bilbao is not doing good, but San Mamés in general, this it's not an easy stadium. So I'm kind of like, who knows, bro? Maybe Madrid will lose more points there. I wanted to ask you a quick question
Yeah.
about Gerard Martin. I know you've been asking, to see him playing at center back, dude.
Looking at Gerard Martin, the way he's doing right there,
Yeah,
which we did mention prior videos that we wanted to see Gerard Martin start playing at center back. I just don't think Araujo, bro, has
right.
any spots, well, any starting bro at Barcelona, unless he accepts a substitute, bro, which I don't know if he is. Honestly, bro, I think it changes scenario would be good for Araujo.
Yeah, unless he does that or unless he
Yeah.
improves, to be honest. But
Having Gerard Martin right there, bro,
let's
and then
see.
having Rafinha back up there, I think it makes Barca look a lot better, in my opinion. But Rafinha has always done that. He even did it under Xavi. The only thing is that under Xavi, he wasn't really effective in the final third, but on the fleek, he has improved a lot in the final third. So you get the player that you get right now, which is
Yeah,
good. So overall, I think Barca looked pretty good. Yeah, at the end they were kind of struggling to defend a 2-1 lead, but they managed to go ahead and get that third goal, which I wanted to ask you, dude, because Ferran Torres, I don't know, bro. I kind of took it personal when he did that celebration. To be honest, dude, I kind of didn't like it.
I think you know what, Ferran Torres, bro. That dude is just delusional. I'm just gonna put it like that, bro. I think that Ferran Torres, he makes simple goals, right? And the most important goals when it's either the time when Madrid were up 1-0 this time around in the Clásico. He had the chance to tie up before Fermin tied up the game. He goes
Yeah,
ahead and misses the sitter, right? And then you look at the Chelsea game for another one example, right? Which is crucial games, crucial goals that he needs to be making. He doesn't make. And then he goes ahead and obviously, dude, Atletico de Madrid, they're trying to pretty much, go all attack and kind of like tie up the game. And, they get caught off guard, you could say,
yeah,
obviously out of positions. A lot of the players were out of positions. Ferran Torres makes a goal that any professional
yeah.
player should be making, in my opinion, bro. And then he shuts up the crowd. I think this is the reason why, bro, a lot of people, including us, kind of bash Ferran Torres when he goes ahead and he misses the
Yeah,
sitters that he
because
does against important teams.
you know what you're trying to say. You're basically trying to tell everybody to shut the hell up and quit criticizing you. But at the end of the day, how are people not going to criticize you after that disastrous miss that you missed against Chelsea? And he scores these goals,
Yeah.
bro, that honestly, bro, don't really matter because Barca were going to win anyways. So, maybe you could pinpoint with the fingers in one hand, bro, the amount of goals that Ferran Torres has scored that have actually given Barca the 3 points, yeah, or have won
Mattered.
Barca a title. The only one that I can think of on top of my head is the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid last season, where he scored that goal. That's it, bro.
And the
But
one
to be
against
but
Dortmund.
bro, he
Hmm.
scores these kind of goals, takes these opportunities to throw it in everybody's face, and all the fans' face, and it's like, for what, dude? Where were you against Chelsea when Barca really needed you? Nowhere to be found. Yeah, overall, I think you would agree, right? It was a pretty solid game for Barca. I think Barca looked good having Gerard Martin in defense, along Cubarsí, Balde, and Coudet. I think that should be, in my opinion, the starting defense for Barca, and I think Flick should work with that defense, in my opinion, bro.
I agree, dude. I think that Fleet should kind of pretty much try to work with, well, he should try to work with Gerardo Martin a little bit more closely to maybe improve him as a center back. And if honestly, bro, if he can pretty much take control reins of that position, bro, I
Yeah.
we have a good center back in that position, dude. The way Fleet wants him to play, given the fact that he can come out from the back, being a lefty.
Hopefully we get to see that. Even when Araujo comes back, bro, I think Gerard Martin should start out ahead of Araujo right now. Unless Araujo improves dramatically, which I honestly don't see. I don't see it, to be honest, dude. I'm glad that Olmo scored the goal, bro, because before the goal, besides the penalty that he caused, honestly, dude, I just didn't see anything from Olmo. And I think, yeah, you could say that he didn't have a horrible game, which he didn't have a horrible game either. But I do think, for a player that costs 60, 65 million, dude, and he's your cam, his pressing should be felt more. A lot more than it is during the game. But I'm glad
Yeah,
he scored that goal because this is the second game in a row that he's been scoring, which is good. Good for confidence. But then again, bro, it's those injuries that just follow him, bro. He scores a goal and he gets injured. So it's like, I
yeah,
don't
I
know, man.
know.
He's such an injury-prone player, and hopefully it's just a little knock. He comes back good.
Yeah, look, it was his shoulder. That's what it seemed like. But to be honest, bro, with Olmo, the game
Hmm.
and the during the weekend, and I think this game as well against Atletico de Madrid. I think that if Olmo can pretty much, keep this rhythm up, bro, like you said, right? I think that we sometimes get kind of like annoyed with Olmo given the fact that he cost Barcelona 65 million.
Would you put Firmino ahead of Olmo right now?
Yeah, I still will put Fermin, but to be honest, bro, because I think about Fermin too, that sometimes he has a good game, sometimes he has a bad game. Fermin is also he's inconsistent. I think that Barcelona sometimes they struggle with getting a player that can pretty much perform week in and week out. Another player that Barcelona can go ahead and maybe start giving a lot more minutes to. And I remember you're the one who told me this about that player in the
Oh
beginning of the
yeah.
season, bro. It's
I
His
think Joe
name.
could be a future Barca player, a future Barca midfielder. Like I say, Olmo has a lot of competition in that position, bro. Not only does he have Firmino, but then Gavi too, right? Who's injured right now, and then you also have Joe who's coming up. I like
Yeah,
Joe a lot, so yeah, you're right. Hopefully we can see more from Joe, more playing time because he has a very good touch. I like his touch and I like his passing.
I feel like he knows how to pretty much perform pretty good in the final third. He can kind of take control of the rhythm of the game. So I like him. What,
17 or
17, 18
18?
years old, dude?
Yeah, he's around that age.
Imagine him in 2, 3 years if he's
Yeah.
able to Fleek is able to kind
So
of keep
yeah,
him like this. So I think overall it's important, dude. Atletico Madrid won. I mean, I'm sorry, Barcelona won. I think Barcelona up till now still keep that lead, of guaranteed of one lead, 1 point over Madrid. If Real Madrid wins tomorrow, for example, if they don't win, if they tie up, dude,
yeah,
it's back to three
which
points for Barcelona.
is after the Clásico, Real Madrid have been, they have been a disaster, and Barca have been going up. Besides the
I
Chelsea
think,
game, Barca have been going in an upwards
yeah.
trajectory, where Real Madrid has been going in a downwards trajectory.
And let's not forget that Barcelona kind of had a hard time pick up momentum in the season, bro, given
Yeah,
the fact that how many
yeah,
players they had out. So obviously, these players are coming back. Like, Rafinha, for example, in my opinion, was a big miss for Barcelona. And then you have Pedri, who, obviously was off for like a couple of weeks after their Clásico. It's like Rafinha, I think, has been a crucial, important player for us. And then, once the team is able to pick up momentum and rhythm, bro,
yeah.
I mean, let's see what happens.
So you can see the difference. When Joao Garcia is in
Hmm.
goalie, you can see the difference there. And
Ferran Torres,
screw that sardine. No, I wanted to talk about Lewandowski, bro, with that, and the real quick though, look, the only difference that you can see with Lewandowski in comparison to Ferran, for example, is when Lewandowski misses that penalty kick, he immediately tries to go for another chance. He had the chance with the header, so he tries to go
right.
ahead and recover
Yeah.
himself and look for another chance. Whereas Ferran Torres, after he missed the sitter against Chelsea, bro, he disappeared. You know what? But Lewandowski, though,
I agree
I
with you.
would say that you can tell, bro, that he just doesn't have the legs anymore, though. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he does not have the legs
No.
anymore. And like I said, we've been saying that hopefully Barca, are able to go ahead and get Julian Alvarez, right? Which is a player that we've always been saying that Barca should get. But Barca for sure, bro, they need a striker next season. And they need to go ahead and move on from Lewandowski. And Ferran Torres cannot be Barca's main striker or starting striker.
If Ferran Torres is Barcelona's main striker next season, dude, you can consider
Oh, yeah,
Barcelona
I agree.
struggling in the Champions League once again.
Definitely, I agree. Overall, good win, and yeah, let's see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens tomorrow against Real Madrid.